We begin with a battle cry. Hunolo being ridden by KoKo towards danger. That's about right. You realize that Hunolo is making a beeline towards what looks like two other large treants. A spot in its chest that sort of like wood has been splintered outward. In it you can see what look like fluorescent yellow fungi. You notice that there are some strange structures that these treants seem to be sort of standing nearby. They look almost like honeycombs. It's those three wasps that you have been sort of following, and as one of them flies towards this corrupted treant, the bursted wood literally sucks the bee into it, and you can see that the bee begins to sort of struggle and fight, but is broken down slowly by this fungi. When that happens, a soul appears and flashes, and you can tell, even from the distance that you're at, that the first one appears to be some sort of Ramhidi. And as the soul begins to try to struggle to get out, is sucked into the mushroom area of its chest, and blue energy sort of pulses even brighter than it did before. Hunolo launches itself, horns first, into the first treant.
The one that's facing off with Hunolo is going to continue fighting Hunolo, but this one appears to be coming after the rest of you. It's going to use its only ranged attack, which is it breathes out this big cloud of poison. Oh. The cloud fills that area, but then quickly dissipates and drops down into the ground. It doesn't linger and
Oh, thank goodness.
KoKo, you also notice that the fungus that's inside of this treant's chest starts to pulsate and glow, and you can actually see a couple of the fungal blooms begin to take shape, and one of those looks a lot like a Ramhidi.
I would like to cast Grease on the ground of the hopefully very not graceful treant.
So it staggers and falls.
It falls prone.
I reach into the burlap sack that I have containing the skull. I reach into my pocket containing the sapphire, and I look up at the throbbing, colorful fungus, and I am ready to do what needs to be done.
We're back to the treants. It reaches down and tries to pick up KoKo. It grabs onto you, but you slip out of its hand and back onto the ground, maybe because you still...
Had grease on
I was going to say, maybe because it's got grease on its fingers. And that aggravates it, so then it just tries to backhand you with one of its slam attacks. 15 points of bludgeoning damage as you get smacked to the side.
What would Uncle Jeb do? What would Uncle Jeb do? Otto grabs the thing that they are unsure whether or not it is evil, grabs the skull. And I'd like to roll acrobatics to baby Bjorn into the crevice of the treant with the skull.
In the chest.
I would love to burrow into the chest. Oh.
You start to scramble up the side of this leg, of this creature's leg, and it, with one of its many branches / arms, it tries to reach down and grab onto you, almost like out of reflexes. But instead of diving out of the way, you actually springboard off of its arm into the creature's chest. You're immediately covered in fungus.
Drac is going to run, jump on that stump, and take both of his claws, and jumps at the treant.
So these roots come up out of the tree and out of the ground and try to grasp at all of you, but Drac is the only one that actually gets sucked down to the ground. And you notice that these roots are also corrupted, and they're pulling pieces of Drac off of him and sucking it down into the ground. Yeah.
At the same time, both Val and his Echo are going to make simultaneous lunging, fencing stabs at its legs.
You can see it start to teeter and crack. You're inside of it. In that moment, you finally turn your vision over and you see a Ramhidi's face in the fungus that looks very familiar to you.
I'm gonna take out my sapphire, and I am going to hold it towards Olivar, and just like whisper, "It's time to come home."
You're focusing all of your energy on Olivar, not really even looking at the skull, but I'll just tell you out of the periphery of your eye, the skull's mouth begins to open. The green eye glows so brightly that it's actually reflecting on your face and on the gem.
The gray wisps of hair begin to sort of float as if being blown by wind when there is none.
And then you push the sapphire into the fungal bloom, and you see the fungal bloom collapse around it and shrivel up, and then the gem begins to glow, and as you pull it back out, you can see Olivar's face inside of your gem. The tree ant, its chest sticks out and bursts forward. Its arms reach out and begin to crumble and wither, and it begins to split apart. As it splits apart, all of you see this wave of blue energy, and faces of Ursaka and faces of Ramhidi pour out in all directions as it dies.
Cristobal is going to sprint towards the souls that are falling out of the treant. Yes. He's going to pull the mirror out of his pocket, and he's going to, because he knows, he understands that using the mirror you're able to channel magic. Yep. So he's going to use that ability to channel the souls into the mirror.
Okay. So you scoop up at least 8 to 10 souls in your mirror, and they just pop, 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 pop. Like as soon as you make connection with the reflective surface and the spirit, they immediately get sucked in. Hunolo rears back, and you can see him bring up those two massive bat dragon-like wings with claws on them, rends them down onto this creature's chest, but then follows it up with its beak, and it bites this thing in half, and it splits open.
Cool.
As it rears its head back, you could see bits and pieces of fungus, detritus, rotted tree ant, and souls and spirits start to pour out in all directions.
Hunolo immediately rears up, flaps its wings, opens its beak, and you see a large radiant beam hit all of the souls and suck them within. Tink. Tink.
Coming from where?
Tink.
I open up my pack.
And you can see that can of that jar of worms that you had before. Yeah, that one right there. You can see that a couple of the worms seem to be sort of slamming themselves against the glass.
Maybe you could take one out and see where it's trying to go.
They all sort of out of the jar and begin crawling towards that mulchy.
I am not going
Corrupted
to
tree
eat
ant
that
body.
dirt.
The ground in around where the tree ant is begins to sink in and absorb the tree ant itself, and it surfaces back up, and when it surfaces back up, it's perfectly tilled soil. Tilled in the sense to where it's like rich potting soil.
That's nature for you.
And then right after Otto says that, a perfectly stone ring emerges up out of the ground right where all the worms had made their circle around the tree.
I saw something like this when I was trying to get home before.
What was the situation in which you saw this?
Oh, I was talking to this lady.
What was their name?
Oh, Queen Mab.
You remember once reading about something about Titania being one of the Archfey, and Queen Mab maybe being like a long lost distant cousin or sister or something like that.
So Queen Mab gave you these worms?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes.
They are a very powerful individual, high ranking in the Fae.
Queen Mab?
Yes.
I mean, she did seem fancy. She wanted me to help her get to the here.
Are you saying Queen Mab wanted your help to bring her here?
Well, I mean, I did kind of accept. I mean, I went through the portal. She helped me find this tree.
The green eye, as it pulsates, it begins to glow brighter and brighter to the point where you can even sort of see it seeping out of your pack. And it begins to vibrate and hum. Do you...
Yes.
As you pull it out, the lights flash twice and blink once, and a small puppy appears sort of in the middle of, very near the stone circle. The puppy appears to be what looks like a golden retriever puppy.
Actually, it's a winter wolf.
Winter wolf.
I think it likes you, KoKo. You should name him Slushy.
All right, so you begin to trek back the way you came. As you continue to make your way back through the wood, as you travel deeper into the dark wood, now back towards Hearthome, it is only a few hours that takes you before you begin to see the telltale sign of the large druidic tree in the distance. And as soon as Drek sees it, he begins to sort of pick up his pace.
Brother, did you save him? Did you save the others?
He saved him.
Yeah. The little one? Magic. Yeah. Magic? Where is he? Where's Oliver?
He's in here.
We need Freda.
Yeah.
Yes, Freda.
As you enter the A-frame, it's pretty crowded in here. And as you enter, there's a large commotion as they all start to realize that you have returned.
Make way, make way.
Oh, you have returned.
Yeah.
What of Oliver?
I have his soul here.
Oh, please.
What about the others?
What others?
The other souls. Our brothers and sisters.
Hunolo shot them with a beam of light, and they ascended, I think.
They have gone home.
The souls are with Lumbra now.
Forever?
Well, yes, they are dead.
That's not what I thought you were doing.
An hour or two goes by, and anytime that you go near the tent, near the netted curtain that she goes behind, you can hear clearly ritualistic.
And the Ramhidi are also joining in.
Right.
You hear their low bawl.
After about 2 hours, that droning stops, and Freda pulls back the netted curtain and holds it open, and out steps Oliver.
Oh.
I just wanted to say that I could sense you. In fact, I could sense all of you to a degree, and I'm so very honored to know each and every one of you. You truly are the Stormborn.
Outside, you hear the crack of thunder, and it begins to rain. And that's where we'll end this evening.